to detox it, you will see how much stone, many stone in here, and this is some deposit like sand, muddy, and you see deep from the bottom of the groundwater. It can have a very, very hard stone. That's why it blocks the space and the secretion of the bile acid. When we don't have enough bile acid or the fluid, the digestive fluid, we cannot break down all of the food we eat. So what happens? Turn out bad. Everything in our body, the nature already create our body, always have both sides to balance itself. When we don't have enough energy, we need to eat, we need to bring the energy in. But if we take in, we don't know how to use it properly, we come out bad. Think about it. You have a block of wood. When you burn it, which full of oxygen, full of air, what we have? The heat, that means energy coming out maximum. The byproduct, a little bit steam, the moisture, a little bit smoke, white smoke, that means carbon dioxide, and a little bit extra, right? So that means the main product is the heat or the energy. The byproduct very little and not very toxic. On the other hand, the same that block of wood, if you burn it without or with minimum oxygen, minimum of air, what happens? The heat not coming out much. The smoke coming out the whole one, and now black, dusty, that is oxide carbon. It's much toxic than the carbon dioxide. And finally it left for you the whole bunch of charcoal, right? So that means the same block of wood, but if we not burn it properly, not enough oxygen, we don't have energy, we don't have a heat, but the byproduct, the whole bunch. The same thing in here. When we eat, even though we eat proper amount of food, even though we eat the very healthy, very good quality of food, but if we not listen to our body, we don't exercise, we don't bring in enough oxygen, we don't let the body secrete enough the enzyme or the digestive fluid, all that good stuff now become bad byproduct. And what happens next? Whenever our body receives a bad product, it automatically secretes the mucus coming out to block it. I don't want to let that guy into my house. So the mucus membrane will coming out right away. The more bad product, the more mucus we secrete, and the layer become thicker, stickier, and it hold that guy instead of kick that guy out of the body. And now the law of extraction come in again. We get trapped in the bad cycle again. See, that's why if we not recognize that, we end up with question why we still have we spend a lot of money. We select a very good food, very quality food, but at the end of the day we end up with sickness, with unhappiness, with other problem, because we don't have an opportunity to look deeply. But if we cannot look deeply, we cannot understand it, we cannot recognize it, how can we transform it? How can we change it? Right? And if we cannot listen to our own body to understand that mechanism of action, what happened inside that, how can we understand the outsider? Alright, next. More and more recently, we feel anxiety, stressful, fearness, worriness, violent. Why is that? How many of you watched this movie before?
What you are about to see is beyond your worst nightmares. But for animals raised on modern intensive production farms and killed in slaughterhouses, it is cold, inescapable reality. Once you see for yourself the routine cruelty involved in raising animals for food, you'll understand why millions of compassionate people have decided to leave meat off their plates. For good. Starvation brought on by becoming crippled from growing so large, so fast, that their legs can't withstand the weight, which makes them...
So you see, we don't have time to go through that, even though it's only about 10-15 minutes, but in general, you see the way we rise them up, totally unnatural. Inside, we try, okay, we go from the beginning. Just coming out, they cut the pig. So first, the surface area will be triple at least. So that means whenever it eats, okay, it can increase amount of food into the stomach. First, so that is too terrible, right?
Excuse me. Did you say they cut the pig?
Yeah, cut the pig.
Oh, cut the pig.
Yeah,
Cut the pig where?
Pig.
the pig.
Where did they cut it? So it can take more food.
Heart attacks and crippling leg deformities are birds who died of heart attack. Chicken stress.
You see, the pig is okay,
Yes.
right?
The pig.
The pig, right? It's small, so they have to cut it about 1/3 of that to half of that.
Yes, got it.
Yeah, to make it eat faster and eat more.
Yes, I understand that, thank you.
So, and then,
It's a chicken, it's a chicken in a pig. And it sounded like a pig for me. That's all. Yes.
and then the food they eat instead of corn, bread, the natural product. Now they give on the byproduct of whatever left over from the other animal. And it also a lot of antibiotic, a lot of growth hormone to make it grow faster. That means internally it expands out, right? The faster the better. Outside, they try to limit the space, don't let it move around. So that, and also the rate of growth is too fast, so the organ is not grow properly. Correlation to the heart, to the liver, to the muscle, to the leg. So that we're talking about the physical level, it's already incompatible. Talking about the physical, the physiology, same thing. We stimulate it and then we try to restrict it. The chemical on the enzyme to break down the food and on the immune system try to defend for them, okay, it's incompatible. And then also think about the way we rise it under stress, right? Under stress during the time we rise them, and especially when we kill it. Every day at one place we kill at least 1 million of that. When we kill it singly or in a small amount, the threat or the sound of scary, it's less, it's not synchronized to each other. But think about when we have more and more chicken be killed at one place in one time, so it will be terrified, and that energy, that sound will stimulate the other. and it makes it more terrified at the last moment when it will kill, right? So during the time it will rise up, all that stressful will release into the muscle, especially at the last minute when it will kill. Okay, it will release into the muscle too. You see, in the old time, we eat the whole chicken, for example. We don't leave anything. We eat the bread with the muscle, we eat the pig, we eat the wing, right? Especially you see in Asia, we used to kill in the small amount or in single one. We rise naturally. And then when we eat complete, so the energy is spread out and evenly. But now all of the bad energy, it will be secret and it's stored in the muscle only. And now we eat only the muscle, we eliminate all the other part. So that means we consume the high amount of the bad energy. The same thing for the bigger animal. The same thing for the bigger animal.
Takes an average of 34, all without painkillers.
You see, every day at one place at least 60,000 cows and about 80,000 pigs. That is one place, and how many places, how many slaughterhouses we have in the world? A lot. So that's why that energy, it not only spread out in the environment, into the muscle, and even though if we not eating, we drinking milk, we still have no problem. Even though we don't use any animal product, but we live in environment close to that, we still be affected. If we don't know how to transform that energy, even though we live far away, we still be affected. Why? Because the signal transform in the environment, especially nowadays. You know, the electromagnetic field, it becomes thicker and thicker. That have a good and it have a bad effect. The good, the advantage, I mean, when we have the thicker electrical magnetic, the transport of the wave is faster, the communication better, the economic grow faster, the industrial grow faster. And then we have more people be depressed, more people under violation, more people commit suicide, and more people under depression, etc. It always have both sides, especially for people still consume animal products. Directly we ingest that energy in our body. But look at this. When we eat and we drink anything, we have at least two separate components: material, visible, and invisible energy. Right? Whatever you can see, it's less potent, less important than whatever you cannot see. We will prove for that later on the universal energy level. So when we eat the material, we bring in the invisible energy. When we eliminate, after a day, 2 or 3 days, we eliminate out all the byproduct of the material if our body cannot absorb that, cannot use that. But the invisible, the anxiety, the fear, that all the scary, the violent still remain in our body. So that's why it makes our body, especially the neural system, very tense and be stimulated all the time. Whenever we be stimulated under stress, it will tie the blood pressure, the blood vessel, it will tie our muscle. And again, the current inside the nerve will rise up. the temperature rise up, and we feel hot, we feel temper, we feel pain because it will damage the myelin layer to protect the nerve. And then again, the respiratory system. We think that we breathe in and breathe out. We bring in the oxygen and to have a gas exchange at the alveoli to make the blood from the black color into the red color, and you bring that oxygen to the cell to dump it. So all the thing we can see, that means the oxygen molecule combine into the heme in the red blood cell only, right? But what makes the blood flow? If we think about the air or the energy in the oxygen, and that gets stuck into the red blood cell only. So what makes the whole bloodstream flow? No. If the heart burns, it still cannot. Actually, it has another invisible energy. Not only in the vein, in the blood vessel, but it has in the interstate space. That's why the modern medicine, we base on whatever we can measure, whatever we can capture, whatever we can see. So we get stuck to this. Because think about at the moment, right? At the moment of people going to die, their heart stop beating. But the blood is not clogged yet. It still flows. And the oxygen still in the red blood cell. Only when all of the energy coming out completely, so our body completely cold. At that moment, okay, the energy no longer retained in our body, and the blood will clot, and you die. But if we stop breathing, the heart stops beating, but the energy, the invisible energy still remains in our body. That means our body is still warm. The blood not clogged yet. We're still alive. You see? So if you have an opportunity to observe and to stay around at the near-death people, you will see how the energy flows and how the breathing rate and the process slowly. After they stop breathing for a while, and after the heart stops beating for a while, the body is still warm. The oxygen still in the red blood cell, the blood still flow. And then about depend on the energy level of that person, strong or medium or weak. It maintains for a few hours to up to about 8 hours. That's why you see in the Asian tradition, we usually require to let the dead person to maintain quietly, not disturbed, at least 8 hours, to make sure all of the energy is coming out. And also we will learn how the universal energy change the state from one level to the other level, from the invisible to the middle state and to the visible level. Like our body, we have a physical level, and we had a physiology, we had a mental, and we had a spiritual. The same thing when we are going to die. It has to transform all the energy from the physical level into the middle way and into the invisible energy. So that we draw all the energy out. If we not respect that, some portion of energy will get stuck in the body. So it will waste energy of our relative to draw it out. And that also make it have what we call ping pong effect. They cannot go, and then they create the energy of the bad electromagnetic field around, so we feel upset, we feel tired, something like that. So it happens when we are in the relaxation state, or we are under sleep, in the deep state of sleeping. Sometimes we have an experience of traveling in a dreaming state, our bodies experience, etc. Why I told you that? Because we need to know the way and the mechanism of energy flowing and control our body. Otherwise, if we get stuck into the modern system, we will end up with more and more upset, more and more disease. Because if we consume, we bring in the very good food, but if we don't have enough oxygen, we cannot have a full energy coming out. We had a whole bunch of byproducts get stuck in our body. And then when that energy be produced, if we don't have the main force of invisible main energy for the nature, we cannot help that portion of energy to flow evenly in our body. And that's why we need to have the relaxation, biofeedback, and meditation technique to get involved to help for that. Alright? So we continue that in the afternoon. Thank you very much. And we take a few minutes break, and we will meet outside at